Uh, Hello y'all. Welcome to another video brought to you by Stands Auto Repair. We are working on the 2014 Chevy Cruze. Basically replacing the turbo, the converter, manifold gasket, so forth, so on. Basically, we went ahead and bought all new parts except for the this oil line, because it's fine. That's the only reason. But all the other oil lines, this one got replaced. The coolant line right here that connects there got replaced, and the coolant line that connects down here got replaced. And the one that connects here is this one, and it goes here, technically on the bottom, close to the where the oil part connects to. And then this is the part that right here where this hose is, that connects to right here. These are your manifold bolts. Those are a pain in the butt to get out, but I finally found my snap-on 10mm. So I was told that this millimeter is actually long enough to be able to get the bolts that are down here off, and then back on, which I'm really hoping so, because I had to use some backyard methods to get the bottom. I guess you can call these bolts. I mean, they're copper. I'm not 100% for sure. Nuts, maybe. Yeah, nuts on the studs. They're just a different style. 10mm does fit. Oh, yeah, better check, make sure. Yeah, see, 10mm just fits just fine. I think the E10 is what you can use. I'm not for sure what the inside diameter of that is, but I don't have any T-bits that have a long enough extension on them to be able to get into that, or I'll be able to tell you what T size that is. Then you have this piece that goes on, but it goes on basically on this side of the manifold. Okay, and then you're definitely going to need a little bit of application oil when you go to get ready to do the turbo. You're going to need to put them, oil up the spots, like up there where the oil goes through. Just pour it in after you get this connected. Take that and get the oil in there. That way, by the time that oil gets pumped through, you'll have the fresh oil. And you definitely want to do an oil change. Definitely want to do oil change. Oh, and the other thing we're doing with this vehicle is we're replacing the sealant on the oil pan. And I'll have a video separate from this one on that Pacific. I already got it pre-recorded, but I had to stop because I had some coolant leak. Looks like the coolant finally stopped. I did have a hose on here, but it disappeared. I have no idea where it went. I don't see it down there on the ground anywhere. So that would explain why the coolant was leaking out. But we can always top her back off. But I'll explain that in the video for that. But basically, one of these lines, I'm not for sure you can get at a parts store, but the other line here, you can only get at the dealer. And to be the honest truth, both these lines and these connections all together is cheaper than buying just the one line at the auto parts store. So getting this directly from your dealership is smart. And you definitely want to change your coolant lines. Definitely want to change your coolant lines. And you want to change this oil line. Those are the main two lines you want to change. And you can get this line off of Amazon, no problem. and this turbo came off of Amazon. It was around $300 and some. The reason why we're replacing the turbo is right there, this crack. If I could get the wastegate open, we could see the crack more. But in order to get the wastegate open, I need to remove this bad boy where I was in the process of getting it out. But I'm basically going to take this turbo home and dissect it to see if this crack is even repairable. But 9 times out of 10, you don't want to repair it. But as you can see, the quality between these two turbos looks a lot better. So I would recommend getting the one off of Amazon. Yeah. Okay, here's the, let me get it. Oh, this way. Serial number for that turbo. And then this turbo is a Honeywell, made in Mexico, the one that we're replacing. I'm not for sure of the brand of this one. It's just a turbocharger. So let's go ahead and get, this is the Felpro gasket, manifold gasket. The turbo does come with a metal gasket, which was used with the original, but the customer wanted to opt for the Felpro, and that's the part number for that gasket. Here's the new oil line, and then here's the turbo gaskets, just in case you don't get some new ones. Drop that so we don't get the trunk wet. It's raining. Okay, so here's your little gaskets for the turbo. There's the part number. Let's go ahead and get this open. This video is definitely going to be a little bit more lengthy than most videos, and that's because this is a very lengthy job. But there's some of the stuff that comes in there. That's a syringe for you to oil your turbo. Then this pack comes with the turbo. You get some, this gasket here is for down here. This gasket, this metal gasket came with this kit, but I'm going to use both because, hey, I like these style gaskets a lot more than just metal ones, because over time, but using both, and to me, it's kind of like double. Anyways, okay, so let's get into part numbers. Here's the oil line, and this oil line did come with a new bolt, which is good. You typically want to use new bolts. And this is the brand, and the part number, I believe, is this one, or that's the USB, but I believe that's the part number. Anyways, well, you got a photo of all the numbers. Right, so there's that. Then this is one of the part numbers for the coolant lines. This is the part number for the connecting to the coolant line, which I'll show you what that is. That would be this right here. I believe that's the same part number. Yeah, these are exact same parts, which would be this here. And then this is the part number for this line here. So the part number I just showed you here goes to this line, and then this line is this part number here. And to install this is quite simple. First, get it out. Yeah. Okay, there we go. That way I have both hands. It's a little bit easier to have both hands. But, what is that? Oh, just a bag. Alright, so what you do, don't even got you in the camera view. Okay, a little bit, there we go. That's one thing I'm trying to work on, is making sure when I show stuff, I actually have it in camera view. Because I've seen some of my older videos, and I was busy talking, not even showing what I was talking about. But this comes with a new gasket. In the gasket kit, you do get these. But if these coolant lines are okay and you go ahead and use them, then you would need that gasket kit, because you would want to replace your gasket right here. Okay, so to get this on, you just kind of work it on easily, and then you'll hear a little click, and then it's on there. And then, oh, I don't know, can I get this higher to where you can, no. Well, anyways, to thread this back in, let me hold the camera with my left hand and try this with my right. There we go. Thread it in. I was going to do the oil pan, but I'm kind of letting the temperature kind of get a little bit warmer. So I figured I'd just go ahead and get this. The worst part of the job is getting the turbo hooked back up. And honestly, in my opinion, when you got a job to do the hardest one first, and then you can do the easy one. That's kind of like a cool down in a sense. Like, say you're racing and then you get your cool down lap. You know, that's the calmest lap. You're also, while your car's cooling down, your adrenaline, you can calm down, you can ease yourself, you know, back into normal operation, as you could call it. So in a sense, when you do a stressful job on a car, start with the most stressful and then work on the easy stuff, because by the time you're done with the easy stuff, if you already got frustrated with something hard, you know, you got her done. I don't want to lose you, Bolt. So let's get those gaskets back on there. Good. Does this got a new clamp? No, it does not. So I'll have to remember to get a clamp. But see, these old ones, they turn now. But they didn't turn before. Oh, they did not turn before. I literally freed them up. But see, what I'm afraid of is why I didn't want to reuse these, is because there's gaskets inside of here. And as much force as I had to put on here to free these up so I could, you know, check stuff, I'm afraid I could have tore some of the O-rings that's inside there. So that's why I just told the customer to go ahead and get some new stuff. Okay, I'm just making sure there's nothing to transfer off the old one. We got that. Need to transfer this brace right here. So I'm going to get moving the transferring this over on here to the new one. I think that's it. You got this brace here. Let's see. Anything up top of the turbo? I don't think so. Flip this one. Nope. Everything looks the same. Okay. So nothing to switch there. Oh, make sure the connectors are the same. They are. Focus. Yeah. That connector's a lot dirtier than that one, so definitely going to have a better connection, which is good. Okay, so I'm going to get to work here, and I will bring you along once I get the turbo over here and start getting it back on here. I'll bring you guys back along. But in the meantime, what I'm going to be doing is just transferring this over to here. Okay, y'all. Getting this bolt back on is a pain in the butt. Let me flip this camera. Okay. The one I'm trying to get, if I can even get you guys to kind of see, is that line right there. And the bolt hole is right there. And see, you can't really, yeah, you can't really see because I can't get a camera angle from up here to see. Because even if this was off, focus. Let me pull this off, see if I can get better sight down there, I can line that up. And then I'll be able to whip this on easily. It's just that, GM, why did you have to run it this way? I mean, God almighty, couldn't you, of this hose right here, couldn't you figured something else out? I mean, I know your service guys probably say all kinds of curse words trying to replace this turbo. Okay, guys, girls, ladies. Alright, I fought. I could not get this lined up no matter how hard I tried. So, what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to, oh, I got the bolt in backwards because this washer fell off. I was like, hold on a second, that's not lining up like it should. Okay. So basically what I'm going to do, this end here is a 17 millimeter, and you can use this. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in and tighten her down. Well, not necessarily tighten her all the way down, because then I can get my sockets in there and finish tightening it down. But I'm going to get it threaded in. And then I'm going to install the turbo manifold and then get the top copper nuts tied in. And the biggest struggle I'm having is no lights, because the electric in this garage does not work. So I'm having to use my phone to light everything up. And as you can see, there's a nice blur because it was my hand. But anyways, I have no way to prop my phone up because everything metal in this car is covered up and everything else is just plastic. So the magnet strip I have isn't going to work because I need the flashlight, which is on this end. Where Samsung is nice is because you can turn the front screen into a flashlight. Well, you can't really do that with an iPhone. There's some apps that let you do it, but they want money. So that's my biggest frustration right now, not having light. Because see, I can set it up right there, maybe, but then it tips over. Tell you. I'm gonna need that. Let me set that tool. Yeah, see, I'm trying to get a part where you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. Can I jam my phone? Maybe. Can I set her? Well, my phone decided to just cut off. Okay, maybe you guys will be able to see what I'm doing. Maybe. But right down here, where my finger is where this bolt needs to go. And as you can see, you can't see it, as I said before, because this hose is in the way. So you gotta kind of put your finger there, get the bolt over the hole, then hold it, then thread it in with your fingers. And it's so moist right now. Yeah. It's lifted it, I swear. Yeah, I'm getting frustrated. So when I get frustrated, I don't think too clearly. See, that moves just fine. So I'm going to get it threaded in there. Not all the way tight, though. But, okay. Oh, even if I do get it tight, I can still move this around. Okay, so I'm gonna tighten this bad boy down. Ugh. Oh, nice and snug. All right. All right, got that. Sweet Jesus. Yeah, because see, at least GM thought of that, because now I can thread this in, and then I can use this to tighten her down. That's probably how you're supposed to do it. If I would just, you know. Oh, that's the total price for everything. Right there. But here's the diagram. Pretty much, yeah. But this is the diagram you kind of need. See, here's your two coolant lines. That's your top line, and then this is your bottom line. And that piece goes onto the block, which is down here, right there. That's where that screws in. As you see, it's showing you right here. That screws in there. So you want to put that in first. Then the rest is just fine. You can actually have the upper hose. You definitely want to have the upper one already hooked in. Come on. Oh, I'm looking at it. Yeah, you already want to have this one hooked in and tied up. Now, this thing that I was telling you about, this is what sits right here. Yeah, that's why there's these little grooves, is for this to sit into. All right, so I'm going to get this installed back in, and then I'm going to see if I can get my camera propped in so I can show you guys how to get this back in, because, geez almighty. Once you do this a few times, it'll get easy. Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to get this done. Okay. My frustration level's down a little bit now. But see why I'm saying this socket's kind of important? Because you get it in there, and then it kind of gets in there. But see, you need it thin. Because if this was this thick all the way through, you would not be able to get this in here. This one is tough. But I'm getting there. Now the question is, can I get my socket back out? I'm stuck on the wastegate. I don't freaking have anything. Now, I will say I can totally understand why it costs so much freaking money, labor-wise, to replace this damn turbo. What I'm doing it for, kind of a cheap. That's how you get it out. I just hope the other bolts, wherever the hell they are, because they got moved. I had everything in here, but I'm going to go ahead and get these manifold bolts or nuts on, and then I can process of getting, damn. Okay, I need to get the clamp on here first. This thing, the new one. I need to get that on before I get buttoning it up, because if not, I ain't getting that on. All right, I'm going to get back to work, and I will show you, kind of explain what I did and how I did it when I get there. Okay, y'all. Turbo wise, replace every line. Replace the feed lines, replace the return lines for your coolant and your oil. Luckily, the dealership in town has it. It's $38. Here's your return line. You're probably wondering where the rest of it is. There's the rest of it. Oh, I found my hose that I was trying to keep the coolant in with. But here's the rest of it. Here's part of it there. There's part of it. There's part of it. And part of it's still in there. Luckily, we're dropping the oil pan. I'm just hoping when we drop the oil pan, I can get that out. Thank you all for watching. And if you made it to the end, there will be a part 3. Because this video is already pretty long. And if I added the second part to it, the video is going to would even be longer. Because my app I use... Oh, you trying to get in the video too, Lila? Well, this is my daughter. Yeah. I'll have another video. Hopefully, I didn't lose any footage of it. I really hope so, because it's on changing the oil pan on this particular vehicle. This particular vehicle doesn't have an oil pan gasket. You just use gasket maker. And I will say it is a livid pain in the rear. I mean, it is. And one of the reasons why I had to do the oil pan is the oil feed tube that runs down was original, and it's plastic that goes into the block. And trying to remove it, the little spring or little push pins, they would move, but they wouldn't. You couldn't get it out because the plastic had heated it. Kink in my neck, but has literally heated and shrunk so many times that it is, in a sense, infused itself in the block, and I had to break it apart in pieces, which some of the pieces got down into the oil pan. There's a tray in the oil pan that I had to remove in order to actually get the rest of the oil feed line out of the block so I could put the new one in. And at the same time, the oil gasket or sealant that was originally on there from factory was not doing its job anymore. So this job of replacing the converter turned into Lila Emma. Leave that alone. My daughter getting in the stuff. But we ended up seeing that the manifold, well, the wastegate had a crack. So then we had to get the exhaust manifold turbo. And on top of that, had to get the oil feed line, the oil return line, the coolant feed line, the coolant return line. Some of this stuff, most of this stuff we had to get from the dealer because there was no aftermarket parts for it. Some of the stuff we were able to get at Advance Auto. But we used only AC Delco. Now, the turbo manifold itself was not AC Delco brand, in a sense, OEM. It's an aftermarket, which actually is less prone to the actual OEM, AC Delco is what I'll call it, cracking. The aftermarket's made out of a little bit better material and can resist higher heat. And also with the aftermarket, you get that little turbo whine that the OEM wasn't given. And I could tell a big difference when I test drove the car with this aftermarket turbo. If I can find on Amazon that turbo manifold setup that I had bought, well, that the customer had bought, I will link it down in the description. Last time when she went and purchased it, it only had a few left. I'm not for sure if they still have it. But if they do, I will put a link down in the description for that manifold. The converter also was aftermarket. It wasn't AC Delco. I think it was Dorman or Bosch. I can't exactly remember because it's been a while since I've worked on this car. And it's taken me a while to get this video together because I have so many videos. And some are 2 minutes long, some are 4 minutes long, some are 9 minutes long that I got to combine all together. And trying to remember the order of the videos is a little bit difficult because I use my iPhone, and the biggest issue I have with my iPhone when I got more than one video is my iPhone tries to put them in order by how long the videos are, which to me is dumb. It's like, Apple, get it straight. If I make videos, I want them in order by how I made the video, not how you think they should be. Because then I got to go through every video, watch it, and then try to piece them all together. Which takes me forever, because as you see, this video is long. So that's a long process. And I use iMovie, which is an app in my iPhone to make my videos. Combine my videos together and all that stuff. So, again, thank you all for watching this replacement for this vehicle. It is tough. It is time consuming. Some of you might find little tricks to get things done a little bit smoother. If you do, put them down in the comments to help somebody out. Because I will be honest, this was my first time ever doing it on this vehicle. And some of the information I got from the dealership's technicians didn't really help any. Because I didn't have access to some of the tools that they have. Because there's special tools that they wouldn't tell me what they were for the exhaust manifold nuts. The little, yeah. Instead of having to use a 10mm socket or an E10 to get them off, there's actually another tool that you can go in there, almost like an Allen wrench, that can get them off, get them on. But my problem is I could not find that tool. Even when I went to look at auto parts stores, I could not find that tool. That would have made it so much simpler to get those manifold nuts, as I'll call them, off and then torque them down. Because I tried using an Allen wrench that did fit, but when I went to go torque them down, the Allen wrench would just spin. It wouldn't do anything because it wasn't made to go in there. Anyways, so I don't make this like a 2-hour video. I will see you all in the next one, which will be part 3, which is I believe it's part 3. If not, if the next portion I got recorded is not anything to do with this, then it will just be on the oil pan, which I think that's what part 3 is the oil pan. Anyways, y'all take care, be blessed, and remember, if it's broke, fix it. And let me know what you think about me doing maybe some t-shirt merchandise. I got a family friend that just started a business, and I kind of want to know, if anybody if I made some t-shirts. I got some kind of in my head of designs that I might want to do. Let me know if you would be interested in purchasing one, because pretty much any proceeds that I get from YouTube pays my rent at my apartment and also helps me buy parts for my 2000 Dodge Neon, aka Hummingbird, as I rebuild Hummingbird. Because I finally, after 3 years, was able to source an engine for that Neon. But anyways, take care, and there will be soon, hopefully, videos coming up on my rebuild of the engine for the Neon, but funds kind of went a little bit low, so that got postponed. And hopefully I put everything away in kind of like a chronicle order, and I can remember how the engine goes back together, because literally the engine is in pieces because I'm literally rebuilding everything. And I think I'm even going to do the pistons, rings, and stuff. I don't know if I'm going that far. I'm going to have to check to make, if everything's okay, then I probably will leave all that alone. But remember, if it's broke, fix it.